Gen Z is quietly abandoning AI tools, and it has nothing to do with being afraid of robots. In fact, the opposite is happening. And once you understand why, you're going to see the future of AI completely differently. So here's the thing. A few months ago, I started noticing something weird in the data. ChatGPT usage among Gen Z was actually dropping. Not dramatically, but noticeably. And at first I thought, okay, maybe they're moving to Claude or Gemini. But no, they're just not using AI writing tools as much. And when I dug into Reddit threads, Discord servers, TikTok comments, the places where Gen Z actually hangs out, the pattern became super clear. And it's kind of brilliant, actually. Gen Z isn't rejecting AI because it's scary or complicated. They're rejecting it because it's boring. And more importantly, it's making them boring. Let me explain what I mean. If you're Gen Z right now, you grew up with the internet. You've seen 1,000 trends, 1,000 memes, 1,000 ways to be funny or creative online. You know what authenticity looks like. You can smell inauthenticity from a mile away. And here's the problem with AI tools right now. They're optimized for one thing, efficiency. They're built to give you the fastest, most polished, most inoffensive answer possible. So when you use ChatGPT to write your essay, or your cover letter, or even just a funny Instagram caption, it comes out competent. It's fine. It's safe. It's exactly like 1,000 other things that AI wrote that day. And Gen Z, more than any generation before them, knows that standing out online is literally everything. It's currency. It's how you build an audience, how you get opportunities, how you matter in a digital-first world. There's this amazing quote I found from a Gen Z content creator on Twitter. She said, and I'm paraphrasing, "If I use AI to write my tweets, I'm just competing with every other person using AI. But if I write something weird and genuine, even if it's worse, at least it's mine." And that's it. That's the whole thing. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't just about vanity or authenticity for authenticity's sake. There's actually a skill thing happening too. Gen Z is realizing that outsourcing your thinking to AI actually makes you worse at the thing you're trying to do. A lot of them are in school or just starting careers, and they're watching older people use AI as a crutch. And they're thinking, no thanks. I'd rather struggle and actually learn how to write, how to code, how to think. I talked to a college student last month who said she used ChatGPT for an essay, got an A-, but felt like she'd cheated herself. Not her teacher, herself, because she didn't actually know if she could write that essay. And that scared her more than getting a B would have. There's also this thing about AI tools being, honestly, kind of a scam for a lot of use cases right now. They're marketed as magic, right? Write your entire novel in 5 minutes. Generate your startup idea. Create your portfolio. But Gen Z is smart enough to know that the 5-minute novel is going to be generic, the startup idea is probably already been done, and the portfolio is going to look like everyone else's. So why waste the time? And then there's the privacy thing. Gen Z is way more aware of data than millennials were at their age. They know that every time they paste something into ChatGPT, they're feeding it into a training dataset. They know that their information is being used. And a lot of them are just like, no, I'm not going to train the AI that's going to replace me, which is honestly kind of rational. But here's what's really wild. The Gen Z creators and developers who are using AI tools, they're not using them to replace their thinking. They're using them as a sparring partner. They're using them to brainstorm, to get unstuck, to challenge their ideas. But they're not letting it do the work. They're staying in control. They're staying in the game. So what does this mean for the future of AI? I think it means that the tools that are going to win aren't the ones that promise to do everything for you. They're the ones that make you better at what you already do. The ones that are transparent about what they're doing. The ones that respect your data and your time. And most importantly, the ones that keep you in the creative loop instead of pushing you out of it. It also means that if you're a creator, a student, or someone trying to build a career, the old-fashioned skills are going to be worth more, not less. The ability to actually write, to think critically, to have a unique voice, that's going to be a superpower. Because everyone else is going to be using the same AI tools, and they're all going to sound the same. So the irony here is that Gen Z is actually ahead of the curve on this. They're not rejecting AI. They're rejecting the idea that AI is a shortcut. And they're right. If you want to actually understand how Gen Z is reshaping tech culture, because they're doing it right now, whether you notice or not, subscribe. I break down these kinds of trends every few days, and honestly, They're way more interesting than whatever the headline AI news is that week.